Welcome back to KB's Rush Revival. Today we're going to hurry and pack some bearings on a trailer that we're taking to Idaho, and just want to make sure we're not going to lose a hub or spindle or anything on the way. Um, so yeah, we'll get started on this and show you kind of just a quick rundown of how to do it and everything. So first, we've already pulled our grease cap off, or dust cap. Some axles, when you pull that off, will have a grease zerk on the end. These ones, this trailer's kind of older, so it does not. First, let me show you if you can see. That one's still snug. That one's still snug. A lot of times you'll have, when you jack it up and grab your tire, you'll have a lot of end play. That's not good. So you pull your cotter pin out, and then undo your spindle knot. Real quick, one thing I will say, a lot of times when we repack bearings and stuff, the bearings sometimes will still be fairly good, you know, on newer trailers and stuff. There won't be any wear marks in them, so we'll reuse them. But when you do that, you have to, and I can't stress it enough, keep your bearings, if you're doing a double axle or whatever hub that the bearings come out of, that's the hub they need to go back in, because your races wear and your bearings wear different from each other. So you don't want to take a bearing that's been wearing in one spot, throw it in a race that's in another spot, been wearing out. So just make sure you keep them with the hub that they came out of. So here's your outer bearing. We won't know what it looks like until we get it kind of cleaned up. Okay, it's hard to see, but we've got streak marks around this discoloration. Normally I would run this, but I don't want to have any issues when we head out of state for another tractor, which you'll be seeing soon, hopefully. So I think I'm probably going to replace that bearing. If you replace a bearing, you have to replace a race. So as you can tell too, these brakes aren't hooked up. They have not been ever since we've had this trailer. So there's a lot of rust in there. It's not bad. I probably need to hook them up, but we usually don't go super far with it, so they might get hooked up just for this trip though. Hopefully that'll clean up. That's the other thing you need to look for when you pull these off. This one is discolored. It's not been hot. It's just had a little bit of moisture in, but I don't feel any grooves. I can't catch a nail on anything, so we'll probably just clean this up and throw it back together. So inner bearing, you can, if you have one, use a silk puller. If not, and you plan on replacing bearings, you can use a punch and punch it out from the other side. This bearing is shot. I'm not even going to bother cleaning it or showing you guys because it's pretty rough. A lot of these new trailer companies that build like camp trailers and stuff, for some reason they don't fill your hubs full of grease. So in fact, we just packed bearings on a camp trailer a few weeks ago, and there was like hardly any grease in there. So that just goes to show you how stuff is built nowadays. And I'll probably be replacing these dust caps, so most of the time I just shove all the old grease in it. I'll probably clean these out in the parts washer. I don't know. But in this case, I actually have a set of good used drums with good bearings and races in and a backing plate. I'm probably just going to take this all off, throw that, and throw a newer drum, and got my slightly used new drum. Like I said, this is a farm trailer. This is the first trip it's going to go on that it's been on since we've owned it in 10 years, so I'm not too concerned about putting brand new stuff on. This is all like brand new, so these are the bearings out of it. They look great. I'm gonna throw these in the parts washer and hurry and clean them up, and then we'll clean the grease out of that. I'll pack these with our bearing packer and stick them in there and put a new seal in, and then we'll be good. So okay, we got our bearings all washed out, cleaned up. They look great. Throw them in the bearing packer here. I will say, 10 times easier than having to pack them by hand. Just like that. It's all greased up. I usually still like to take and rub the grease on the rollers just to make sure. And I'll take some and rub around on the race. Throw the bearing in. I'll take my new seal. Now, some of you are probably going to say you should be using a seal driver. This is just as flush. Certain ones that I do, I use a seal driver. But I've yet to have had one fail, so now we'll take our outer bearing, throw it in. Okay, we've got our new backer plate on. Like I said, some axles, newer axles have a grease zerk here, which makes it a lot easier. These ones don't. I just fill the hub full of grease. Make sure you grease up your spindle just so the seal has a good, nice surface to glide on. Spindle washer, spindle nut. It's kind of hard for me to explain this one, so everybody does it different. I usually will snug the nut up on here, take and seat my bearings. I'll back it off until it's loose, and I'll just take it. Just a tiny bit of pressure. You don't want to over tighten these. So there you have it. I'll put the new cotter pin back in it. And then once I get to putting the grease cap on, dust cap, I'll usually take and fill it with grease before I put it on. Okay, we got our new dust cap here. Don't want to go too full because chances are it's just going to ooze out when you go to put this on. These are handy little tools for putting dust caps on. There you have it. There's a quick and easy rundown on how to pack trailer bearings. So, okay, we'll see you next time. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, whatever you'd like to do. So, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.